history of the Fourth Republic as one of the key political figures when it comes to being controversial, making facts as he knows it to be, as he's described out there, as somebody who says what he believes to be true. We have Ken Ohene Agyapong, but now wants to become the presidential candidate of the ruling party, the MPP. Good morning. Thank you for joining us.
Good morning. You're welcome.
Yeah. You're known to be a very controversial figure. I remember the first time I really noticed you was when you did an interview with Time with David Ampofo. You remember those days?
Yeah, very well.
And that was back in 2007. I'll try and go into the archives and get a sneak peek of how young you were then. But what would you say your political trajectory has been so far?
Well, it's been ups and downs. Because some of you will describe me as controversial. Some will say he's forthright. Some will say he's what? You know, all kinds of names. But it's not been easy, but I always get vindicated in the long run. So I'm okay.
All right. We'll get into your main vision for which you want to run to become the presidential candidate. But let's try and clear some of the nitty-gritty, some of the controversial issues first. I do know that you're cast in the mode of Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, the president, as somebody who is controversial, as somebody who wants to be given the authority to make sure that you stamp your authority on all issues. There is the fear that you become more like the president. Talks a lot and then does little.
That's an interesting question. I'm surprised you're coming up with an issue like this. At least what I've done in this country will tell you that I just don't talk. I believe in whatever I say, and whatever I do, I have examples to give you. I'm completely different from anybody, and I'm not going to compare myself to anybody. It's Ken Agyapong. What Ken Agyapong believes in or what Ken Agyapong stands for. And if you are comparing me to President Akufo-Addo, that you claim he talks and does little, at least in this country, Ghanaians are aware that Ken Agyapong, whatever he says, he does it. I've created a lot of businesses in this country. I have done a lot of good things to Ghanaians. Typical example is the 37 military hospital, where I'm building the cardio center. Some doubting Thomases have said that, oh, it's not possible. How can a Ghanaian commit $6 million to do a project like this? I like such challenges. So today, the question you put before me, it rather motivates me to do more, to prove you wrong. So I'm different.
You're different. We're also
and I always turn my negatives to be positive.
Well, we'll talk about some of your negatives too. What we know, and then also what the ordinary Ghanaian seem to think of you.
Right.
Now, I want to play an insert for you.
Go ahead.
And it's on Ahmed Swale.
Go ahead.
You know definitely I'll ask you that question. Right?
I don't have a problem.
Harry, get me that insert.
I am very dangerous. What in Medina haya? We share maybe a panasu or buy a premises I be a mistake. Me, Mumuno, near baby a mitria. You go a bat. Sa Ahmed no. Mun show more pictures in the area. Somebody picture and children. When you are almost what in Medina, yes. Ayini, boy, no, Ahmed, no. When a friend Ahmed, the picture back, I'm fan to soon and yakes. God, good. The picture back, what in Medina, what bad premises of a Muno. Near basically,
so as you can see, rolling on the screen.
This is a boy, or a bad boy.
Your exposure of this gentleman to the Ghanaian public killed him. That's the accusation.
See, with all due respect to you journalists in this country, about 80%, 90%, you are the people going to destroy this country.
How so?
Yeah, because you misconstrue people's ideas. Whatever the person puts out there, the import of what the person puts out there, you never even analyze it. You only take just a second of a statement made out of the whole statement, let's say 8 minutes. You take about 30 seconds.
What were you trying to describe in that video?
Yeah. And I still maintain it because I will not come here today and tell you that I want to be president and therefore what is the truth, I'll say is not the truth. It is. He's a bad guy, or he was. And let me tell you, if you don't have the evidence, Anas used them.
How did he use him?
Good. All those people that Anas destroyed with his videos and everything, Anas never showed his face, except this guy. This guy was bold to set everybody up. I have a lot of videos. Gentlemen, if you have time and you come to my house, I'll show you all the videos. There's not, with the exception of the Ivorian videos that I have that you see Anas's face after the interview with the Ivorian ministers that he was entrapping. All the entrapment, it was Ameswali who was sitting down with some fake Arabs who were saying that they were from the family of Sheikh Atani. So until a video comes out, you will never know that is Anas. But you know that...
Second, Agyapong, this is called undercover reporting. And undercover reporting, sometimes there are simulations that are undertaken to make sure you test the character of the person. To get the best out of the person, try to make a conclusion in a story. It's not wrong.
But you say undercover.
It has given you the image that you don't love journalists.
I don't care.
You discriminate against journalists, even though you employ some.
I employ people like you. And how would you say that I don't like them?
Not when you issue threats to them.
How do I issue threats? You think you are the only human being who have blood in you because you're a journalist? I'm afraid I don't believe in that. Because this man, if you know the number of people that have been killed, if you know the number of people that have lost their jobs, we have to be fair to all those families that Anas and Ameswali set them up. You see, you didn't let me finish. It was Ameswali, you are talking about undercover.
Yes, undercover.
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 So why didn't he, Ameswali, also cover himself?
Because
he
it's
was
undercover.
there. No, you are saying undercover, but Ameswali was there physically. Call Kwesi Nyantechi, he will tell you. Call Edubuahin, he will tell you. Call these ministers.
So why did you expose a gentleman to the Ghanaian public? Ultimately, the accusation is that it got him killed.
How did he get him killed? His own deeds killed him, not me.
All right.
What I said was that the first video I showed, you see, why I have a problem with some journalists and you think I don't have it. There are a series of videos. You've taken only this one. The first one, when I mentioned Ameswali, my workers came to me, oh, Honorable, you don't know this guy. This guy has been here for school fees. You gave him 1,500 cedis to go and pay his school fees. And I said, I don't know him. So they said, oh, he has been coming here all the time. So the first video, then I said, this guy is a bad guy. If he comes here, beat him up. Because he's going to set me up. He's going to set Ken City up. And my toil.
You said it on live TV.
Yes.
You brought the gentleman's life in danger.
How did he
as a result of that?
What about Kwesi Nyantechi's life?
He was shot.
What about Kwesi Nyantechi? His own deeds. His own deeds.
So that's your conclusion?
His own deeds caused his death, not me.
You also had defamatory actions undertaken in the U.S. court in Virginia, if I'm right, against Kevin Taylor. You know Kevin Taylor very well.
Yes.
Yeah. And the judgment did say it is undisputed that Agyapong is a public figure and Taylor's sentiments were made regarding matters of public concern.
Right.
It does indicate that if you plead the Fifth Amendment in the United States of America, you're a public figure, you should not be afraid of scrutiny. Why is it that when Ghanaian journalists are probing, asking questions that lead to scrutiny and governance, you seem to have a problem with it?
How do I have a problem if you are coming out with sensible questions and the truth? I have a problem with sensationalization.
And who was doing that, Kevin Taylor?
That will cause the death of some people. You see, of late, the way bloggers and other media people are going about issues, if we don't take time, it will burn this country. So you are here mentioning Kevin Taylor. You think what Kevin Taylor is doing to the country and Ghana because he's a journalist, nobody has to say it if he's wrong. Is that what you are saying, my brother?
I'm talking about the defamatory actions you issued against him in the Virginia court.
Yeah, and they are saying that once I'm a public figure, he can say whatever he wants to say. Case closed. It doesn't mean anything. That's what they said. Whatever he said against me, the court says I'm a public figure. So if you're a public figure, they can say anything. That is all. That is the judgment. So I don't know.
I find it quite funny. And since then, you've been on the campaign trail.
Right.
And subsequently, you seem to be throwing jabs at a number of your opponents who are key leading figures, including the vice president as well as Alan Chamantin, who was trade minister, etc. I'll play you an insert, perhaps maybe you might not recall.
Right.
Please, give me that.
It is only Ghana and I would the economy in IMF also your strategies. MPP for Oma clean campaign, Ombenyasem. Because media okay, may reply. Obi also your strategies. Also your strategies. And you're taking over power. Not dollar 4 cities. And then dollar 12 cities. We are strategies. Excuse me, strategies. More strategies.
How am I throwing jabs?
Mr. Agyapong, while you seem to have taken the campaign by storm, you also seem to be rallying up feathers, angering people, including your own friends, who now are standing against you as presidential candidate.
I don't care.
Who are the strategies you were talking about?
Yeah, who are the strategies? You see, in this country, unfortunately, journalists especially, most of you consume information without digesting. At least you should have given me benefit of the doubt and say that, why did this man talk like that? Is he a madman? Then you begin to probe into it. I specifically said, Mose, Moye strategies. It means something has happened. But you never bother to check what has happened. That is the problem. You see, when I come out like this, then you say I don't like journalists.
Because you were throwing jabs at your own government and key individuals who were managing part of the economy.
They are also throwing jabs. They are throwing jabs. Did you listen to what I said? Did you further investigate? That is the problem. If somebody goes there to say that we don't want a candidate who will come and tell you, I have built this for 37 military hospital. I have bought vehicles for MPP. We want a strategist. And you see, if you had probed into it, you would have known that I was not even referring to Vice President. I was referring to John Kuma.
I didn't say that you were referring to a Vice President.
Yeah,
I have not said that.
Here. You said some of the candidates. Is John Kuma a candidate?
I'm saying some of the candidates, you're throwing jabs at them.
And is John Kuma a candidate? If you had probed into it and done your work very well, you would have known that I was not referring to any candidate. But you see, that stereotype positions that some of you take will destroy this country, which I feel is not fair. That's why I'm saying that at least give Agyapong benefit of the doubt and ask questions. Why did he say this?
Now let's come to the subject matter of this content. Since you've been on the campaign trail, you seem to be unearthing a lot of issues and also coming to the conclusion that the government of Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo has inherited, based on the indicators, as you stated there, 4 Ghana cedis, well, it depends also where you're taking it from, 3.8 Ghana cedis to $1, seem to have taken it to where we are currently. And so it's incompetent. Is that your conclusion?
That is not a conclusion. But I was drawing the attention of the minister who was on the floor of the House by 12 o'clock saying that we are not going to IMF today, we are not going to IMF tomorrow, and 2 p.m. we announced that we've gone to IMF. And this same guy goes out there to say that we don't want somebody like Agyapong. That's why I responded. So that doesn't mean I'm saying that MPP is incompetent. But I will admit that moving from 4 cedis to 12 cedis, you cannot shower praises on MPP. Read my lips. That's the gospel truth.
Does it mean that you are coming to the conclusion anybody who should be selected to be the presidential candidate doesn't need to be an individual who has served in government? Is that your conclusion?
That's not my conclusion, but it's a judgment of the voters. those who are going to vote should know the terrain, what we are going through and everything. And one candidate that brings a new vision.
What vision do you bring?
My vision, pragmatism.
Which is what?
PAD means patriotism, honesty, and discipline. Patriotism, honesty, and discipline. In this country, if we can move this country, the situation we are in now, we need somebody who be bold to tell you to your face that what we are doing is wrong. And the moment I tell you, what's your name, please?
Roland. My name is Roland.
Roland. When I say Roland, this is wrong, you say, oh, Agyapong is rude. I'm not rude, I'm confident. And here, in this country, Ghanaians misconstrue confidence to be arrogant. That is the challenge I have in this country. All what you are saying, everything that I've said have come to pass is the truth. And once I believe is the truth, nobody can threaten me because we are serving this country and Ghana first. So what I'm bringing on board as an experienced businessman or entrepreneur, my experiences, I'll bring it to bear because I have sat down carefully, analyzed the situations and the challenges of this country. And I know that there are 3 key areas that if we use that, we can change the fortunes of this country. That is patriotism, honesty, and discipline. Ghanaians, we are not patriotic when it comes to businesses especially. Even our lifestyle. You see, my brother, let me draw your attention to something. Why is it we cannot say that Ghana we are poor? We are not poor.
Why?
Because foreigners have shown us clearly that Ghana is rich. Why is it that foreign investments are doing well in this country and we Ghanaians, our businesses are not flourishing? Have we thought of that? Have we questioned ourselves? As a businessman, I have come to realize that the dishonesty in this country is killing our businesses. Indiscipline is killing our businesses. So we have to make sure we are disciplined, we are honest, and we are patriotic. But let me give you one example.
Do give me.
You know, I go to a place, Movenpick, the UK, the visa section. I was going to take a picture.
The consular section, where they take
Right.
visas, yeah.
I was going to take a picture. And the photographer just told me, Honorable, we want you because look at those people there. They have received visas and they are going. And I can tell you, if I'm not exaggerating, between January to June, over 1 million visas have been issued to Ghanaians. And it's a drain on our human resource. So I went there and counted them, those in the queue going for their visas. My brother, 9 a.m., 73. And you can see the joy in their faces because they have no jobs.
And that is because of poor management of the economy.
Yes. And the poor management, it is not only the government.
Then
Ghana, all of us.
Who has the responsibility too?
You see, the responsibility, I know that leadership by example, that if I say, Agyapong, I'm not going to do this, and I make sure my subordinates are also not going to do it. I agree with you, we can make a difference.
Are you the one saying this? Of course, you've not been in government. You know, all these things you're saying, we've heard it before. Prior to 2017,
right,
the president,
right,
then opposition leader, said we have so much money. You know about that phrase?
Right.
Great. And you are also echoing same. How are we going to know you're not going to turn out to be a failed Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, the president?
Well, I wouldn't say he has failed, but if that's your perception and your description.
I'm drawing lessons from your conclusion that haven't gone to the IMF. That's failure.
Yeah, because I said to NDC, and I still maintain it. If NDC should go to IMF and Agyapong says they failed.
So I'm taking a cue
Then
from you. You are saying
good.
that's failure. So I also conclude that's failure.
But let me tell you, I'm a businessman. I've created a lot of businesses and employed a lot of people in this country. At least my works show that this man is a different politician. This is the first time in the history of Ghana that we are going to have somebody who has political experience, about 35 years as a politician and also 35 years as a businessman. So with this combination, some people say, oh, you are Donald Trump. I said, no, I'm not Donald Trump because he doesn't have any political experience. At least I've been in parliament for 23 years, so I know. So with the combination of politics and business, I stand out. And the business challenges that I've gone through
and experienced
has given me the experience. That is why I've identified the problems. The word patriotism. I see that we are not patriotic. You know, because you cut in, that's why I couldn't finish about these visas. When you see a Ghanaian, my brother Roland, you see a Ghanaian holding American passport, he's so excited. When you see a Ghanaian holding a British passport, he's so excited.
But you were in America, so why not us?
I did not, never, check your records, change my identity. I had a green card. I gave it up. But I never took American passport because I cherish Ghanaian passport.
Because you have a certain vision. Now, let me ask you. It's good that you're bringing all these things about honesty, patriotism, and discipline. It also means that we need these values to be able to manage the resources we have, the gold, the things that, you know, the reality is just being in business alone, creating a steel factory, having a chain of co-stores and other business chains, somebody will say, who is an astute economist, for example, will conclude, that is not enough to rule a whole country like ours, to take us from where we are
to the top. So what about the person who has not even created 1,000 jobs, that he is fit?
Who are you referring to? Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia or Alan
Everybody, including NDC, all politicians. None of the politicians in this country have created employment more than me. Both NDC, CPP, everybody. So if those who could not even create 500 jobs, you see them or you perceive them as capable of ruling this country, how much more an individual who has over 7,000 workers in this country? And you are saying that that is not enough.
I'm asking a question.
I disagree.
I haven't made that conclusion.
I disagree with that. I disagree with that. And again, I've told you, at least I've been a member of parliament for 23 years. Next year will be 24. 6 consecutive terms in parliament. You see, I cut across business and politics. So give me opportunity and you see what I can do for this country.
Well, at the end of the day, you first have to convince the delegates of the MPP first.
Yes.
One of the things that they seem also to be criticizing the Akufo-Addo-led government for is that you are one key person. And I remember, if you look at all the scenes, that very day in 2007, when we had the 17 people, ultimately the second round, and then we had that final acceptance speech, you were behind Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo.
Yes.
All this while, you'd been his right arm.
Right.
He's been taking us for a ride all this while. You never advised him. You had all these great ideas. Why?
You see, my brother, it's a very good question you've asked. If there's a Akan language that was usikeswa wasimswa.
Akan adage.
Right, adage. The usikeswa wasimswa. That is, it means when you don't have enough money, whatever you say, people don't pay you no mind. But back to your question. You see, you can advise, and they can choose to take or leave it.
Are you saying you advised Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, the president, he never took it?
Not Nana Addo personally, but at least the ministers that come before me, committee levels, I've served several committees, and I always give suggestions, the way to move this country. Starting from Honorable Kwashige's time, when I was a Greek committee member, I gave them 2 proposals. For a third one, he agreed. First one, we did experiment. My company called Supercare, we took yam to Holland. and did experiment. They realized the starch content in yam is the same as potatoes. And in Holland and all European countries, America, and they store yam potatoes for 8 months. So they are saying that we can store yam for 8 months. I gave them the technology. It's just simple blowers like this room, and you put the blowers like air conditioning, but it's not as cold as air conditioning. The temperature is like you still have the yam in the earth. And if you do that in layers, you can store the yam for 8 months. My brother, I said this. Nobody paid me money. Second one, I advised them that June, July, August, we catch a lot of fish. We are not able to store it and smoke it, so the fishermen throw them back into the sea. What we have to do is first build cold stores with blast freeze.
Cold stores with?
Blast freeze. You cannot just build only cold store. Cold store, the temperature is between -10, -12. Blast freeze, the temperature is -40, -41. So let's build cold stores with blast freeze so that when you blast freeze it at -40, 41 degrees for 24 hours, then you move it into the cold store, -10, -12. It meets international standard, and we can export our fish.
Laudable.
Yes.
Laudable.
And
this administration, have you advised any of them from the president to...
Not the president, but...
Did you advise the finance minister?
Hold on. Who am I?
Why not you?
I seen them premier middle school. That is why I want to be president this time and prove them wrong, that they are all terrorists.
I see.
Yes, I want to use pragmatic approach to change the fortunes of this country. We are terrorists.
Mr. Agyapong, let me ask you this.
Yeah.
When the country was disillusioned, and I'm talking about from December, because from September, October, the dollar started just spiraling out of control. You were extremely worried, and I've monitored many of your videos interacting with the delegates, that your businesses were just, you were having forex losses. That's what you said.
Yes.
Did you in any way take part in that action of either 95, 96, 97, 98 MPs who wanted Ken Ofori-Atta out of office because of his incompetence?
You see, I'm a senior member of parliament. When you take honorable...
So you were playing senior?
Hold on, not that I'm playing senior. I wanted them to justify their reasons. I am against whoever is incompetent. He has to go. But convince me. Give me reasons why you want him out. You didn't see anything from me, or you didn't hear anything from me. But behind the scenes, we also advise that this is the way we should go. I met the group and advised them that, look, this is our position. Let's go through the budget. After the budget, whatever decision you take. Because now, if they are going to IMF and we remove Ken Ofori-Atta today,
why not? If he dies, the country will move on.
Hold on. This is that's your opinion, which is perfect. But my suggestion to them was that he has negotiated this IMF deal for so long. We are just at the tip of it to finish. So let him complete it. And after that, if we feel he should go, he should go.
Okay.
That's the advice I gave them.
Now, when they went to the president, that was same advice. Are you the one who advised the president to give them that advice?
I did not. When we went to president, all of us, I didn't speak. I just allowed the young ones also to vent out their anger and all those things. So I didn't say anything. But the gentleman will tell you that I had several engagements with them. I had several engagements with Ken Ofori-Atta, to make sure there is peace for the system to go through whatever we are going through. And that's what a good leader should do. So that's my position. And that is what I did. Not that I kept quiet. But you see, when we first went to parliament, the exuberance, the youthful exuberance. My brother, now I'm 63.
Yeah, you have to take it easy.
Exactly. So sometimes I allow the young ones also to do their own thing, because through that they will have experience. And a time will come that when they are doing certain things, they will stay away.
You've been going round constituency by constituency.
Yeah.
Indeed, your messages seem to be permeating the minds and the thoughts of even those who are outside your party. You've been focusing all your communication of your vision on tourism, agriculture, etc.
Technology,
technology.
engineering.
What have you seen across the country that makes you draw the conclusion that you can take a certain region, whether it's Bono or Volta or Ashanti, and then you can use the resources there to transform Ghana? And what sort of resources and in what way would they be?
Thank you very much for the question. You know, politics is destroying this country. Politics will polarize the system, which is not good for us. You know why I'm saying that? You know, going round, I've had the opportunity to go around the whole, about 13 regions.
You went to 13 regions?
Yes, already.
For a man of 60...
Yeah.
60 what? 62?
3.
Hey, you're strong, man.
13 regions, thank you. And when I got to Volta region, I was shocked. What we can do in Volta region, you have no idea. The land, the water bodies. My brother, let me tell you.
Tell me.
We have, myself, my partner, we have a cassava starch factory at Agyapong mountain that we, Prime Chief, gave us 125,000 acres land. We've cultivated 30,000 acres of cassava, and we are producing 300 tons starch at Agyapong. And this month ending, definitely the new one at Prime, 200 tons. You see, the land in Volta region is more suitable for cassava and sugarcane even than the Bono East. Yeah, I see this land and I'm shivering. So, what? Do we have leaders in this country? Including NDC, MPB. I've been joking with my...
Why are you trying to equalize? You're going for an MPP primary. You're mentioning NDC.
Let me finish. Volta region is dominated by NDC MPs.
Okay.
So when I went back there, I called my friends from Volta. I said, you know what? When I win, I'll put all of you on the table and lash you. Because the gift God has given to you, and you are not using this. Even yesterday at the committee, when I heard the lady was interviewing this, we took a decision yesterday on the ECOWAS.
No, I'll ask you that.
Then, the Constitution and Legal Committee, the ranking member is from Adagru. And I told him, my brother, you are sitting on gold, not this galamsey thing. The land
you mean
have,
Roxanne Nelson Dahamapo, who?
Yeah. The land you have, the water bodies, if we do irrigation, 5 northern regions, Afram Plains, Accra Plains, plus Volta region, can feed the whole Africa. Yeah, I mean it.
Are you sure?
Yes.
We heard all this from Nanado before 2017.
Let me tell you something. You are right making mention of Nanado.
Because he gave us vision and the vision hasn't materialized.
That's what I'm saying. You are right, because maybe you are disappointed. The things he said, you have not seen anything. Because I also experienced something that we went to Koforidua for a meeting, and I told one minister that, look, when you cross Tema Toll Booth here, okay, just look on your right. The squatters using these pipes for irrigation, the vegetables. Then when we are coming from Tema Ashama, look on your right.
The plains.
Right. 365 days, because there's this big gutter there that they can collect water. 365 days, they are growing maize. So we have to irrigate most of our lands in this country. And that day, the answer from the minister, I just packed my files and left. He said irrigation is expensive. I said,
which minister was that?
I won't say anything.
Which minister?
I won't.
Are you talking about Dr. Akuto?
I won't say anything.
The former Greek minister.
I won't say anything.
He told you, what did you say he said again?
The minister said irrigation is expensive.
Dr. Akuto said
My brother,
irrigation is expensive.
I have not mentioned anybody's name. You same person, you will tell me I'm attacking somebody. So I've not mentioned anybody's name.
Right.
But the person said irrigation is expensive. I say, Jesus Christ. That person who said irrigation is expensive is thinking of short run and not long run effect.
Okay.
You see? So, my brother, if I have 125,000 acres and I've cleared 30,000 acres, and you say I cannot, let's go to the north. You know, one simple thing, they call something tama, they share not the fruits. The first time I tasted it, I asked them, so why don't we have tama fruits here? My brother, everywhere, all the 5 regions, they share not.
You saw resources,
Yes.
natural resources that you
Yes.
can use to develop.
Yes.
Don't you think that it's now time for us, bipartisan, MPP, NDC, all the rest of the party, for us to have a national plan?
I agreed with you, 100%. You know, initially I said politics has polarized the system. That's what I meant. So we need bipartisan. But this bipartisan, I don't need myopic thinkers. Read my lips.
You mean those you are contesting with, their myopic?
No, you say bipartisan. And I'm saying that, yes, we need bipartisan. Meaning NDC, MPP, CPP, anybody who has the nation at heart should come on board. But I, Agyapong, if I'm the president, I don't want any myopic thinkers. Because I dream big. And we have to move this country. Time is not on our side. So don't come and tell me, Nyamibeye, God will do what God will do. God has given us brains. He has created us a superior being over all his creations. And therefore, I think we need big dreamers, thinkers that can move this country. And loyalty is key. People who love this country, people who will not take Ghana resources outside to another country.
If you do an analysis of the telecommunications sector, you even take banking. After Ken Ofori-Atta collapsed the banks, and then we have the telecommunications sector now dominated by foreigners instead of Ghanaian-owned entrepreneurs or shareholders. It has put us at risk. I have heard you many commentary before today wail over or cry over this present situation. How do we remedy that?
Asia Miracle.
Which is what?
Asia Miracle, what they did with Hyundai, Sanyo, and all those, what they did was that they identified businessmen who are into business and having challenges. They called them to a table, round table, and asked of their challenges and decided to help them. And the help they gave, whatever amount of money that the government gave to them, especially Korea, they took shares. The government became a shareholder in the business. So now you can call it PPP.
What?
PPP.
Which is what?
Private-public partnership. Okay. But here, the PPP doesn't work because government does not go into contract or agreement with the investors and say that we are taking shares. Whatever money that we are giving, we are taking shares. You take shares to have control so that they will not misuse the money. That kind of discipline is what we need.
To transform.
Yeah, to transform. Okay. The Asia Miracle. And that is what I believe in. That Asia Miracle. Whatever we do in this country, we cannot allow only foreigners to have money. It's dangerous to the survival of our economy. So we need to promote Ghanaian business. But my brother, let me tell you the truth. We are also our own enemies.
How so?
Yeah, because of dishonesty.
I see.
I can tell you, if you like, go and check Commercial Bank, Exim Bank, the amount of money that has been given to these Ghanaian businesses for one district, one factory. Go and check. When you do that, do you expect any government to come back and give you money again?
Okay.
Even when we started Parliament, they had something like Japanese grant.
The JICA one.
Right. They didn't pay the money. They didn't have any companies. So that is why I'm saying that we are our own enemies. That is why I'm preaching patriotism, honesty, and discipline. Anybody, the Asia Miracle, let me explain it well to you. When they give you money, the money will not be handed over to you. But if you want equipment to boost your company, you give them the source of the...
Like the way the Chinese do, for
right.
example.
Then they'll send the money directly to the company. So when you give them 3 months, that the materials or machines will arrive in 3 months. The 4th month, they'll be there to inspect if the machines are in. If you give them excuse, then they'll give you another, if you say 3 months, they'll give you another 4 months. The 4th month, if they come and you have not done it, or you've not received it, they took the whole thing from you and give it to another person. That instilled discipline in those entrepreneurs.
You know my conclusion. You seem to be a man of principle. You know what to do, etc. But you were there, your colleague, Cecilia Bernadapa, was keeping stash of US dollars, euro, while Abochis at airports were being arrested through the Bank of Ghana, etc. Why is it that you don't advise your colleagues to do what you do?
How would I advise my colleagues if I don't know that he has this money there? My brother, how would you advise? They look a picture of innocence and they pretend they don't even have a dime. So how would I know that he has touched this amount of money for me to advise her or him? I'm not capable and I don't have any information. And you see, right from onset when we started, you kept mentioning you have this, you have that. And because of my honesty, a lot of people will keep all these things from me because they say Agyapong is a loud mouth. Whatever he sees, he can't keep it. So such a person, will you even go and tell him that you have $100,000? So I'm not in a position to know what.
When this became big news, the Cecilia Dapa Gate,
right,
or the scandal,
right,
when you were on the tour, what did you make of it? As an experienced legislator, an experienced politician and a businessman.
You see, whether we like it or not, it's going to affect MPP. I'll speak the truth. I'm fair. When Victoria Hammer mentioned that if she makes $1 million, she's going to do A, B, C, D. Look at how Ghanaians chastised her. So the one who just said, if I get, and the one who has it. So it's a big problem. We cannot run away from it. We cannot. I'm telling you the truth. Whatever they're watching and listening, I know there'll be backlash, but God knows I've spoken
Perhaps
the truth.
It will not affect MPP if you are elected.
Yes.
Okay. Now, you are a member of the Defense and Interior Committee.
Right.
Why have you decided to side with the executive, to send our innocent troops to go and so-called restore democracy in Niger?
You see, you use our so-called. No, such words are harsh.
Coming from you, that's a novelty.
No, it's
but
not.
You use harsher words.
It's not. It's not. You see, when I use such words, it means I'm reciprocating action. Are you reciprocating action?
No, I'm just quoting.
Yes. You know, yesterday we sat on it. My brother, the security of this country is very, very important. If we make a mistake and we allow coup d'etats all over West Africa, tomorrow it will be me and you. And the first thing, 2 of us will go to jail first before anybody. 1, they'll dissolve. The word is dissolve parliament. They will arrest journalists. Check all the coups. You see, so the security of this country is very, very important. And no matter the amount of money, prevention is better than cure. Prevention will not cost you as much as you are curing it.
There's Boko. We never quell the insecurity that we're going to Niger.
You see, we have obligation as ECOWAS members, and you cannot run away from it. We have obligation because, in fact, the second most important country in West Africa is Ghana. I've been an ECOWAS member before. So it's an obligation. And this, yesterday, I posed the question and answered it myself. Why is it that Burkina, Guinea, and Mali, we didn't go there, and now we are going to Niger?
Okay.
Again, I gave a solution to it that this should serve as a deterrent because it's becoming rampant. Coup d'etat is becoming rampant in ECOWAS. So we should use Niger to serve as a deterrent that anybody who tries again, ECOWAS will come after him. And this is not the first time.
All right.
We've done that in Liberia, Sierra Leone. We've done that in Gambia when Yahya Jammeh said he was not going to hand over power and all those things.
All right. Please get me that insert in which he was wearing a shield.
Asasi am holding for 18 years. Akwa confront granny chrono for we what the year court. Meanwhile, another comma, me my children. Oko producing documents come here. Now we have fake documents in the crowd. He has gone to court. Why am a boof? The lawyer wrote the thing on the 5th of August. And was appearance here 13. I didn't get anything. Now on the 1st of September, more than injunction, you are a stupid judge. I will face you. You are a stupid judge. Who persuaded you? You are a stupid judge. Yes. 18 years that I've had the land.
Wow.
Mr. Agyapong,
yes.
I can imagine you being president, threatening the judge, and you threaten the judge, not even yet a president. Why are you threatening judges? Journalists, judges?
Are
everybody?
you saying that if you're a judge, it means you have 100% judgment and you are right and you can do anything? Is that what you are saying? You keep saying journalists, do the right thing. Do the right thing and nobody will mention your name. Am I saying every journalist? I say some journalists. But you lump all of you together and say journalists. You see, with all due respect, judges don't have absolute control. There should be checks and balances. If you listen to the import of what I am saying, if not because I'm angry, and I know you the way you are asking questions, if you go through this dilemma, you do worse things than what you've shown to me. I've owned this land for 18 years. Let me tell you, there's a Lebanese guy called Kamoni. I was in Kumasi, this particular land. I've walled it. There was a building on it. I didn't like it and I demolished it. So I asked a guy to stay there. He's been there for the past 12 years. Could you believe that I was in Kumasi and the Kamoni and some soldiers, they were wearing military uniform, whatever, they went there. When they went there, the guy on the land said, no, the land doesn't belong to them. It belongs to Honorable Agyapong. Let me call him. He called. And I said, let me talk to him. He refused to talk to me. So I came back. And they brought land guards there. I went there. And when the land guards saw me, said, oh no, this man is a nice man. We can't do that. They have sold the land to him for $1 million.
And so you had to insult the judge?
Hold on. Now I'm coming. I'm giving you background. So this case, over. Then another group also goes out there. You see the loopholes in our system, the law, we have to change it, some of them. You cannot say that I go to court and report that you have done this. And no investigation, nothing. You go and stop me from what I'm doing. Please. Are you saying they are judges and they are 100% right?
So that's why you insulted the judge?
Yes. Because 18 years, nobody even called me to say anything. And you know what they do? It is not even the judge. That's why I apologize to him.
Okay.
The judge will give the orders. The bailiffs, instead of giving the thing to me, they will not. They will delay, and go back to the court to tell the judge that we didn't see him, we didn't do that. Then finally, they go and put it there. So when I went through it after my anger and everything, I went there. Then I realized the bailiffs are in connivance with those people who want to take the land.
Okay.
You see, but
so you retracted.
Yeah, I apologized to him when I realized it was coming from the bailiffs and the.
All right. Hold your fire. I see that you are pumped up. Don't worry.
No, I'm cool.
Please play the next insert.
I'm cool.
And Dr. Mwakuba, listen to me here. Me, I don't like people like that. Honestly, I have vowed not to insult. Can never blast the beer. I grasp. Chief of staff called me. I went there. Said, now this is what she's saying. I swear my mother's grave. Chief of staff gave me 120,000. Deposited in Agyapong's Fidelity Bank account. Please, Mwakuba, what do you know?
Honorable Ken Agyapong,
Yeah.
this money, is it USD, Ghana Cedi? We've been wondering since.
Ghana cedis.
You've changed the figure from USD to
I
Ghana
didn't. Did you hear me say $120,000?
I'm asking a question.
No. You played it. So I want to know, did you hear? We're all watching.
Okay.
Did you hear me say $120,000?
Mr. Ken Agyapong, we come back to the issue of you, the politically exposed persons, the leading politicians, the elite of our country, hoarding cash. You transact cash hand to hand, etc. It's not good for the country, right? For the economy. You're a businessman, you should know that.
Yeah. You see, those who deal in cash, I'll be honest with you, if they are politicians and they are dealing in cash, because I've been a businessman for so long, they know I have a lot of businesses. And therefore, whatever money I have, I can take you to the bank. Those people who are keeping cash, before they became ministers or chief executives or whatever, were they able to have that amount of money? So if they take it to banks, and these banks, they leak a lot of information that, oh, this chief executive has this amount of money. Oh, this minister has this amount of money. You know, those things. So maybe they decide to keep it at home for people not to, see what they have or whatever. So I cannot speak for them, but I take my money to the bank all the time. I do bank transactions. I can give you all the names of the bank that I do transactions.
You have nothing to hide.
Nothing.
If you were...
But you played this Agyapong thing.
You want to put it into perspective for us. We know the issue.
But you didn't talk about it.
No, I wanted to know the currency. Because of the way the dollar is done. I thought it was US dollar.
The 120,000.
But you took the US dollar and replaced it with Ghana Cedi.
120,000.
Okay, so we're trying to wind up this conversation. It's also live, not only on TV3, but also 3FM 92.7. My colleague, Johnny Hughes, do you know him? Johnny Hughes, you don't know him. You showed his picture on Net2 before. So I want to ask you why again, he's a journalist, so that's why.
Who is Johnny Hughes?
Johnny, okay, that's okay. That's okay. I want to take a couple of...
What was the reason?
Well, I think it was one of your programs. Amama Gold, and I'm on the stream. Amama Gold says, this is just another Adodankwa Akufo-Addo in a different form. You dispute that, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Amama Gold, he disputes that. Frimpong Newton says, this is not the time for who said, Ghana is in crisis and we need someone to rescue the nation, since coup is not the option. He seems to think that you are the person. If you have to rate the government of Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, 0 to 10, what will be your rating?
6.
That's failure.
Well, 6 is above average.
Yeah.
It's not fail. You haven't failed. 6 is above average. But let me be fair to him too. Now you see...
6 over 10.
Yeah.
That's okay. It doesn't need explanation. That's okay.
No, but let me...
No explanation.
No.
Let's move on.
No, I wanted to tell you something.
My colleague, John Hughes, please put his picture. This man, you showed him on Net2. You remember? You don't, eh?
I don't remember.
Okay. I'm sure he'll forgive you. Johnny, please forgive him. Now,
No, I showed his picture that he did what?
it was one of your programs. It was one of your programs. Now. Okay. So, Money says I should ask you, why is it that why have you not supplied all street lights you were supposed to supply in your contract? Which entity do you have a contract with?
Agyapong. You see, when you do diabolic things like this, and I put you in your right position, then you say Agyapong is rude.
Okay.
This falsehood. Go to Yoko. I have even supplied the street lights in excess of 2,400. You know why? When the manufacturers are shipping because there can be breakages, they give you extra. And once it's in the name of Ministry of Energy, you can't take it out. So if you are fortunate and not even one gets broken.
Did he do the supply, sir?
Of course, yes.
Okay.
And they owe me.
How much do they owe you?
Minister, I won't tell you, but Minister of Energy owes me if I didn't do the supply.
Does it mean that you make your money largely from government procurement or contracts?
I have a lot of businesses. My brother, let me tell you.
That's a very vague response, Mr. Agyapong.
Look, even rent alone in this country, I make over $800,000 rent a month. $800,000 rent a month after withholding taxes. So now that I'm not doing any contract, am I not Agyapong? So please, these kind of things.
You made comments before for which you were taken to the police that guns and airways, they should be, is it clubbed or beaten or killed? Explain that incident to me.
Thank you. That's the treason. Let me tell you. Honorable Eslausu, Honorable Abu Jinapo, and there's one gentleman called Muhammad at Abosuakan area there. They went to Neil Lante's Vanderpoy's constituency and they were beaten. The next day, they went to all Kantamanto Akan shops.
Dominator shops.
Yeah, dominator shop and looted. Then, what broke the camel's back was a gentleman today, I can mention his name because he's no more with Gokobot. He's called Solomon. He used to work at Gokobot. So Solomon from Nkonya came with 4 other guys, there were 5, to my house. That the chiefs in Nkonya and Biakuye beat the gongon and asked miners to go and register to vote. And they resisted, and they are beating MPP people in Volta region. So Solomon came to my house. I was in Tema. All these things, I said it in Tema, not the studio. So when he gave me the information, I said, let me call Oman FM for you so that you can put it on there. Then he said, please, I want you to speak on my behalf because I work at Cocobot. If they hear my voice today, they'll sack me from Cocobot. That's Professor Mills' time. So whatever I said was what Solomon Donko repeated, told me. Then I added Greater Accra. I said, if you think Greater Accra is your stronghold and we are beating Akans, if you think Volta region is your stronghold and we are beating Akans, then Ashanti region is also our stronghold. If you don't stop, we also beat guns and airways. This is what I said. And within an hour, this media.
But you shouldn't have said that.
Why not?
Because it's a localized issue. Then you make statement that seem to nationalize an issue.
You see, you have to be fair to everybody. MPP people are also human beings. MPP, they are human beings. But to tell you that today, if anything happens like that, I will not even say it.
Because now you have changed.
Not that I've changed, but I've learned
you
my
are
lesson.
changing.
No, I've learned my lesson.
Because you want to be president.
No, I've learned my lesson because the people that I fought for do not even appreciate. And this has become albatross. If I had died, because if they charge you treason, it's very serious. But when they played the tape in court, severally, they brought Institute of Journalism for them to come and translate it and everything. There was nothing. That is why I was set free.
That's your camera. Speak to your delegates. I give you 30 seconds.
Right.
Appeal to your delegates. Look directly into the camera.
Right.
The camera there.
No, all I can tell my delegates is that it's enough is enough. The theories is enough. Let's give somebody who has pragmatic ideas to move this country. The only solution to our problems is to create employment for the youth of this country. And that is what I stand for. Check my track records. My track records clearly indicates that Agyapong is for the youth. Agyapong is for employment. And anybody who does not work in life has no life. So job, job, job. And that is Agyapong. I want to create job opportunities for Ghanaians, businesses, and employ the youth that are coming.
When you were in opposition, you said you jail Ibrahim Mahama. You haven't jailed. Somebody said I should ask you.
You know, if
Ibrahim Mahama,
right,
the business magnate.
Right.
Is he your friend?
Yeah, he's a friend, but I always speak the truth. If you do something wrong...
You've not jailed him?
No, let me tell you. The level of dishonesty and our culture, that's why we have to change some of our cultures, the attitude. You know, I took Ibrahim to court. He paid 14 million Ghana cedis. Do you remember? Hey, you are a fine gentleman. You are very intelligent. Don't keep quiet. Do you remember?
Make your statement.
You know, he was not paying duties on his machines that he was clearing at the port, even on Sundays, because his brother was the president. I challenged him. I gave evidence. And Ibrahim Mahama went to court to pay 14 million. So what have I done to the nation? And he went out there begging. So I'm surprised that President Mahama is saying that I've not been able to jail his brother when they went behind, were big chiefs coming to beg for him.
All right. Thank you very much. Thank you for passing. I've enjoyed the interview. I hope that you come the last round before.
I don't have a problem.
Okay. If you're not able to come before the election, when you are elected to the presidential candidate of the MPP, come let's have a conversation.
You'll be the first person I'll invite.
Thank you. You're a nice man, apparently. Please make sure you get interactive. As always, we have 3FM 92.7, TV3 Ghana, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and Threads. Well, as you know, we're going to have this uploaded on those platforms, but also give you snipers of great content as we have it right here on TV3 New Day as well as on 3FM. We'll conclude with this, a sneak peek into the past, taking an insert from the young Kennedy Agyapong in his 40s.
What the opposition is saying is right. But because it's your party's agenda, they whip all of us to go and vote. So sometimes, if you are not strong enough